America's racial reckoning apparently hasn't ended. By racial reckoning, I mean everybody talking about race all the time for no apparent reason. The latest iteration of this, because the demand in the media exceeds the supply when it comes to racism. The media want racism. They want talk about how America is deeply racist. They will find incidents that are clearly not racist, and then they will treat them as though they are racist. The latest iteration of this is Tyreek Hill. So Tyreek Hill is a wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins. And right before the game on Sunday, he was briefly detained by police. Now, this detention is Tyreek Hill's fault. It is. All he had to do was obey the officers. That's all he had to do. He didn't obey the officers. He was being a jack. And so he was taken out of the car and put on the ground. Now, I'll also remind you that the exact same thing happened to Scottie Scheffler, the PGA Tour golfer. The exact same thing happened to him, much more unjustifiably, and Scottie Scheffler happens to be white. So multiple things can be true. One, some cops can be over-aggressive. That happens sometimes. Two, this is actually Tyreek Hill's fault. So here's some of the body cam footage. And as we'll see, this turned into a big discussion about race, and as always, here's the actual footage.
Hey, don't knock on my window like that.
So you can see Tyreek Hill is pulled over
Why don't you have your seatbelt on?
by a motorcycle cop. He rolls down his window.
Don't knock on my window like that, though.
Like what?
Don't knock on my window like that.
Why you have it up?
Don't knock on my window like that.
Why you have it up? I have to knock to let you know I'm here.
Don't knock
That
on
way you
my
can
window.
lower it and talk to
Just
you.
get my ticket, bro, so I can go. I'm finna be late, gang. Do what you gotta do.
Keep it down. Hey! Keep your window down.
He rolls his window back up.
Tell me what.
The cop knocks on the window again.
Down, I'm gonna get you
He
out
starts
of the car.
He starts yelling at the cop.
Get out of the car.
He rolls it down a little bit to talk to him, and then he refuses to lower the window.
Get out of the car right now. We're not playing this game. Get out.
Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Get out. Damn. What part of blood are you in this car? Hey, Drew, I'm getting arrested, dude. I'm getting arrested.
Okay, that's Tyreek Hill's fault. It is. That's not the cop's fault. The cop knocks on his window, and Tyreek Hill gets mad that he knocked on the window, which, if you don't want him to knock on your window, you got to lower the window. That's the way windows work. And then he rolls his window back up in the middle of the conversation with the cop. And the cop knocks on his window again, and he refuses to roll down the window. Then he rolls it down like a crack. And the cop's like, that's not how this works. So Tyreek Hill's immediate response to this is that the officer who detained him should be fired. So first of all, we don't know the identity of the cop so far. If I had to guess from the accent, that cop is probably Hispanic. Huge number of Hispanic cops in South Florida, of course. Huge Hispanic population. A lot of Cubans and Venezuelans and Puerto Ricans and Dominicans. So I really doubt this is like white on black racism, because it doesn't sound like the cop in this particular case is actually white. But even if the cop were white, this is Tyreek Hill's fault. I'm sorry. Roll down your window. Everyone knows this. When you get pulled over by a cop, white, black, or green, you put your hands on the wheel and you roll down the window. That's what you do. It's not exactly like rocket science. So according to the Wall Street Journal, Hill said at a press conference, he's got to go, man. He said he's got to go because in that instant right there, not only did he treat me bad, he also treated my teammates with disrespect. Really? Did he? Did he treat like Tua, the Miami quarterback, did he treat him with disrespect somehow? He said he should have let his window down and handled the interaction differently. He said, I could have been better. He said, at the end of the day, I'm human. I have to follow rules. I got to do what everyone else would do. Now, does that give them the right to literally beat the dog out of me? They didn't beat the dog out of you, dude. You played that day. Hill yelled repeatedly he had just had knee surgery. He said Wednesday that he had stem cells injected during a minor procedure. So it wasn't even true he had knee surgery. His lawyer said the officer who led the traffic stop put his hands on Hill's neck at least twice and put his knee on Hill's back. He said, we are of the opinion the officer's use of force was excessive, escalating, and reckless. He then scored a touchdown in the same day, so clearly, brutally, viciously injured by the cop. It's so tiresome, and it is so stupid. Again, how about this? Be a reasonable, rational human being with the cops, and there is like a 98% chance that everything will go just fine. And no, the cop shouldn't be fired. Ridiculous. Are you tired of the lies and the twists of the mainstream media talking points? Yeah, me too. Join me in my newest series, Fact, where I dismantle and bring truth to this tiring mainstream agenda.